The Chiefs not only beat the Niners in the Super Bowl once again, but are the first team to win back-to-back Super Bowls since the Patriots did it in 03 and 04. The win was a crucial one for Kansas City because it stamped the word dynasty upon the Kansas City Chiefs organization, leaving no doubt in the minds of anyone that actually has a brain that they are the very definition of greatness, from the front office and their ability to draft, to the coaching staff and their ability to coach them up, all the way to the players themselves. You got the best tight end in the game, the best QB in the game, the best head coach in the game, best DC in the game, I would even say, the best kicker in the game, the best DT in the game, as well as the best and youngest defense in the NFL, dynasty. And speaking of DT, defensive tackle for Chris Jones, I just want to shout out DT 58, man. Derek Thomas, the Chiefs won Super Bowl 58 for DT 58, and you freaking love to see it. And by the game's end, Mahomes had almost 400 total yards, not only throwing for 333 yards and 2 touchdowns, but also scrambled 9 times for 66 yards, leading the team in rushing. Travis Kelce had 9 snags for 93 yards, then a plethora of other players caught 2 or more. The offense was 9 for 19 on third downs, but sadly just 2 for 6 in the red zone. But obviously it didn't matter because thankfully Harrison Butker was perfect on the night, making all 4 of his field goals, including 2 from greater than 50 yards. Then Kansas City's defense held the Niners to just 3 for 12 on third downs, only letting them get into the red zone twice and stifling Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk to under 87 total receiving yards. And while McCaffrey did have 160 total yards from scrimmage, he was a beast out there, they were able to stop him enough when it mattered and held him to just 3.6 yards per carry when he averaged about 5.4 yards per carry through the regular season. Bolton led the team in tackles. Justin Reed had a great game. Willie Gay was making plays. Mike Pennell had several key stops. Chris Jones had several game-changing plays. McDuffie had 3 PBUs as well as 2 QB hits. Snead clamped down basically whoever, whenever, aside from that one Jennings score. And ultimately, this team did pretty much what they needed in order to walk away with the W. It was close. We were nervous and scared, but at the end of the day, a win is a win is a win. All the ups and downs of the season mattered not once they made it to the playoffs. And all season long, the coaches said, we are right there. Just need to execute a little better, catch a couple more passes, make a couple less mistakes in these games, etc., etc. And while they did have some mistakes in the Super Bowl, Spags coached out of his mind and the defense held strong when the offense sputtered. Then Mahomes and company dealt 2 lethal drives, a couple more good drives scoring touchdowns, but one was a short field by special teams, but 2 lethal drives when it mattered most near the end of the game, one to force overtime and one to win it all. Patrick Mahomes was, of course, Super Bowl MVP, which makes that his 3rd MVP in the big game so far. Another stat to throw upon the pile of his mountainous collection. He now has 15 postseason wins, trailing only behind Joe Montana and Tom Brady, and his 3rd ring has him trailing only Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, and Tom Brady. And one of my favorite parts of this win is they did this in the Raiders' home stadium, which has to leave that fan base in absolute shambles, but I could care less. Only further adding to the sweetness of this victory, at least to me. And while I could go on and on and on and on about this glorious victory, I would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. How do you feel after this thrilling yet very stressful Super Bowl win? Who were your standout players and also favorite key plays in this game as we saw the Chiefs get their 3rd Super Bowl in 5 years?